trick weapon crafted by workshop heretics, the powder kegs. A prototype weapon serving as a simple firearm and spear, possibly created in imitation of a lost Cainhurst weapon. Lacks any notable functions, saving that it's the only trick weapon with an attached gun. Welcome. In this video I'm going to showcase the whole moveset of the rifle spear and my tips and suggestions on how to use the weapon in PvP based on my experiences with it. As usual, I'm not going to feature damage values or gems used to chock it into the weapon, because these things vary between players' personal preferences and might change in the future patches of the game. Rifle spear is a curious weapon that shines most when used in defensive play instead of aggressive play, which makes it stand out compared to the most weapons in the game, for better and for worse. This combination of long-reaching spear and rifle can be a demanding weapon to use, but it also has some interesting tricks to offer. I'll go through the moveset now and share some notes about the attacks. One-handed spear version might be faster, but it has weaker damage output and most attacks have poor range horizontally. It also loses its ability to shoot in this form. Basic light attack. Fast poke that covers great range directly in front of you, but due to the poor horizontal hitbox of this attack, it can easily miss opponents that are moving sideways. Quick step light attack. Very fast attack that covers some horizontal space as well. One of the most useful attacks of this weapon, and is the only real attack you can use for fast aggressive approach without too much fear of missing the target. It's good to keep in mind though that the damage output of this attack is very weak. Rolling light attack. Similar to the quick step light attack, and as with many other weapons, this attack works particularly well on getting safe damage to your opponent's back or sides, while avoiding getting hit. Running light attack. Fast poke that once again covers great range directly in front of you. Very useful in situations where your opponent tries to come in with their own running attack, or bait you into their own combo. Because due to the long range of the spear you can usually deal safe damage without being hit yourself. Running heavy attack. Fast ground slam with good range. Doesn't differ greatly from how you would use the running light attack, except the attack animation is a ground slam and deals more damage, but has normal damage type instead of a thrust. Backstep light attack. Very fast poke that works for counterattacking aggressive opponents if done early enough. Backstep heavy attack. Same use as the backstep light attack, but the attack is a ground slam instead of a thrust. Basic heavy attack. This is one of the few weapons on which the strong attack works great even without fully charging it, because it's relatively fast and has good range. Fully charged heavy attack. This charged heavy attack has very natural timing for counter-hitting aggressive opponents. Also great option from a wake-up situation. Jump attack. Great range, but as many of the other attacks of this weapon, it can easily miss the target for its poor horizontal hitbox. Great attack for the end of the combo. Two-handed rifle version is slower, but gains better horizontal attacks and ability to shoot. Basic light attack. Quite slow attack that covers tiny amount of horizontal range as well, and has relatively poor range compared to the other attacks of the weapon. Works best for baiting or a combo that I will explain later on in this video. Quick-step light attack. Fast poke that covers good range directly in front of you, ideal for chasing down opponents who back away. Rolling light attack. Same as quick step attack, but if you're comfortable with your ability to aim attacks manually without lock-on, this can be used to poke your opponent from the sides or back from safe range. Running light attack. Long-ranged fast poke that works the same as its one-handed version. Running heavy attack. Same as the running light attack, but the attack is a slam instead of a thrust. Backstep light attack. Quite short ranged poke, which I rarely find useful as a startup, but it can work after other attacks. Backstep heavy attack. Ground slam version of the light attack, which I prefer over the poke due to its considerably higher damage output. But usually I do not find much use for this either, if not used for a follow-up to another attack. Works well in a combo I'll explain later. Basic heavy attack. Slower but stronger forward poke, sometimes useful for countering aggressive opponent when used early enough, or to catch people who dash away after taking a hit. Fully charged heavy attack. Rush poke with very slow startup, but covers extremely long range directly in front of you, and deals devastating damage compared to any other attack of this weapon. Often very risky to use, so best used in surprise element and preferably from long distance from your opponent. Jump attack. Stronger than the one-handed version, but instead of being a poke also covers a bit of horizontal space, useful at the end of the combo. Gunshot. You can shoot shotgun style spread shot with this weapon by pressing the left trigger. More on how to use this feature of the weapon later on the video. Next I'm going to share some combos and advanced techniques you can go for with this weapon. First of all, I want to mention that I strongly feel that Rifle Spear's greatest strength is not in the combos, but in intelligent use of right, singular attacks at the right time to counter something your opponent does. Keeping your spacing correct and taking the defensive rather than aggressive approach on fights is recommended, because Rifle Spear lacks fast close range attacks, so keeping proper distance and not letting opponent close to your skin is vital for this weapon, and fighting in close spaces can cause difficulties. It's also worth a mention that you cannot buff Rifle Spear with elemental papers. All that said, there's a bunch of awesome combos you can go for with the Rifle Spear. Let's start with the most simple ones and build up from there to the most advanced attack chains. I just say it outright, this combo exists, but you are never going to find a situation where all these attacks land. All of the hits of this combo have light impact on opponent and can be easily missed if your opponent moves even slightly sideways. So using multiple one-handed light attacks in a row is rarely useful. The first attack of this combo can feel awkward with its relatively slow startup, low damage and weird hitbox, but the second attack is already much more useful with its longer reaching horizontal hitbox. So usually I start this combo from either whiffing the first light attack to get the opponent to come in and eat the rest of the hits, or start it with something like running attack. Simple parrying combo that can be used against any opponent if they try to retaliate by attacking after getting hit by your light attack. Keep in mind that if you trade hits with the opponents, the gun parry does not come out when transforming the weapon. So it's a good idea to keep the proper spacing from your opponent and keep them at the length of your spear to avoid trading. At this point I want everyone to acknowledge the awesomeness that is the two-handed transformation attack of this weapon. In the end, it doesn't matter how you land the two-handed transformation attack, but let me say it now. It's the start of all the best combos with this weapon due to its great stun ability and should not be ignored by anyone. I myself prefer baiting opponents with whiffed attack so they think I'm open and try to come punish me. If I judge the distance correctly, I hit them to the face with a transformation attack that has great long range horizontal hitbox as well. So it's fairly easy to hit with it, even if your opponent comes in from a bit of an angle. After you land the two-handed transformation attack, there's a lot of different follow-ups you can go for. This transformation attack followed by a jump attack works against opponents with quick reflexes that dash away immediately they take a hit, since jump attack of rifle spear has insanely long range. Similar to the combo I just explained is charged one-handed heavy attack followed with a jump attack. This next combo is absolutely monstrous against people who try to dash in and start spamming attacks without much of a thought. The one-handed light attacks after transformation attack come out so incredibly fast that they combo straight in the opponent's face if they try to retaliate with attacks. By the way, using 2 light attacks is actually optional, even 1 is enough. And if they still try to keep on attacking after that, you can transform the weapon back to the rifle and parry them. You might trade with your rifle shot against some faster weapons, but that is hardly an issue if you are rewarded with a parry afterwards. The best thing about this combo is its flexibility. If it happens that your opponent decides to dash away after you've landed the light attack, going for the transformation parry attempt is still worth it, because the spread shot from the rifle still hits your opponent while they are getting away and stuns them long enough time for you to swoop in and deal some extra damage either way. Only way this combo can go wrong is if the opponent decides to dash past you, but even then there's a small chance for you to hit them in the face with a rifle shot. The final combo I have for you actually starts aggressive instead of from bait or defensive position. I've noticed that many of my opponents try to sneak in attacks after I've hit them with my running attack. This is when backstep attacks of this weapon come in. By doing a running light attack and immediately performing backstep heavy attack, makes you avoid your opponent's attack while letting you come in again immediately with a ground slam. If you are feeling lucky and you think your opponent wants to start spamming attacks, you can go with the more complicated version of the combo that ends with a parry. It might not be the easiest weapon to start with, but ultimately getting success with it feels very rewarding. If you have any tips to share about this weapon, please let us know in the comments section, and your comment might end up as an annotation here in the end of the video for future viewers to see. See you all in Yarnum, and thank you for watching. Take care.